Come thrift with me. I'm Dr. Lori. I'm at the Peddler's Mall in Louisville, Kentucky. Well, we've hit Corningware. We all love Corningware, right? So let's see. Oh, okay. So bloom cornflower, good. Newer, right? So, but small. And you got to look for the mark. The marks are in different places with Corningware. So here, it's actually here in the bottom embossed. Sometimes you'll find it here. Sometimes, you'll find it on the bottom, but printed darker. This is a nice one. So, they want 10 for this, which is a little high. So, but I would say that you probably could get 12 out of this if you're reselling it. I do like it. I like it for a couple of reasons. I like the size because it's unusual. What I like more, actually, are these, which a lot of people will say, oh, these get mixed up. These are the handles, right? So they attach so you don't burn your hand. But what I like about this is everybody buys the handles. If you have an opportunity, and here's an opportunity for 3, it's the trifecta, right? The opportunity for 3 of these handles, I'd get all of them because people do look for them. They like to have that whole set. Now, speaking of Corningware, what you have here, which is nice, is you have a lot of the different patterns. So you've got the Marjolaine pattern, this pattern which is based on French cooking, this particular pattern, and it looks like you've got a whole bunch different sizes. Looks like they could use to be cleaned up, but they look pretty good. So different sizes. Hang on, I'm gonna move some things. Oh, wait a minute. And another one here. Another one here. So you've got a lot of these. So these are pretty nice. Now, what do they want for these? They want 12 for this one. I think these should be 8. I think these should be priced a little bit lower. But I do think that they're nice. And the fact that you have an opportunity for a bunch of them, I would probably take all of these. Especially these. Then there's the big ones, right? So you've got this big one and this really big one. This top probably goes down to another big one. So this one's older. This one's older. It doesn't have as much of a lip. This has almost no lip. This one has a big lip and it's newer. This one has less of a lip, older. The other thing about it is you'll notice the height of the lids. The height of the lids on these usually indicates an older piece. Older like the 1960s versus the 1970s. That's basically what I mean. Maybe there's a decade or 15 years in between the two. So that's going to be important. Look at the different blues. See how this is more of a sort of a dark grayer blue, and this is more of a lighter blue. Still the blue cornflower pattern, but different time periods. Here's your mark. Well, your mark has to go this way, actually. There's your mark. And, you've got to kind of clean up these pieces, especially if you're going to use them, and if you're going to resell them. This one's nice. They want 34 for this, which I think is I'd like it better at 25 or so. I'd probably go snap it up at 25. Value on it is easily 65, 75. And then this piece, of course, the one that's a different, again, a different coloration, 15. The reason why this one is really a deal, let me see if I can get you the mark. There's the mark. This one's a deal because of the lid. The lid makes it a deal. I really think the lid is great. The lid is big. I'm going to try to put the lid on it too. But the lid is really why it's pretty valuable. Let's do that. I don't know if I can get it in here with the lid. There, and then the lid on top. The lid fits onto this piece. And these come in really handy. Now, this piece, I don't care how much it is, you're buying this piece, and here's why. It's small, it's for sauce, it's the blue cornflower. It's got, your identifying mark. Now, granted, they know that this is a pretty important piece, pretty expensive, but this is in beautiful shape with the lid. And here's your mark. And I would say definitely you're going to get 50 bucks out of this piece if you're going to resell it. Personally, there's so many people who are just looking for it, and you're not always finding the lids. If you are finding the lids, they're not in good shape. So that's what you're looking for here as well. And as you look at these pieces, you really have to start to think, what should I be looking for? Okay, so there's a little bit of a mar over here, which I would probably change. I would probably try to see if I can't clean up. But generally, that's a keeper. There's the plastic lid. That's introduced a little bit later. Here's some Celadon China from Japan. So they only want $2 for this piece. I would definitely say that you want to pick this up. Celadon, the beautiful color, the nice bamboo motif, and it's looking like it's 7 inches. It's really kind of a nice piece. Here's your Celadon mark from Japan, and I would say definitely 15 bucks. And that's a nice piece for a lot of reasons. Why is it popular? Well, the Japanese motif and the coloration. The Celadon green is really very popular. I like this piece a lot. Surprised to find it. How about Blue Ridge? Now, this is unmarked, Southern Potteries, but the style, of course, of Blue Ridge. And you can tell which one's a little bit older and younger. And people will say, now this one has a chip. See the chip? You gotta look on the underside for the chip too, because the underside is where oftentimes the chips are, right, on this area. So you've got to look here. So a nice apple bowl, Blue Ridge, those are going to go about 25 bucks, and there they want 10. I've got saucers. And without cups, saucers are somewhat difficult to resell. But here's that underside chip. And here's another underside chip. So there's 2 of them on this that you want to probably leave behind. But here's a dessert plate. Here's a dessert plate. Underside chip. So I'm starting to think, I don't know, we might pass on these depending on the price. Somebody wants 25 for this with these chips? No, not happening. But Blue Ridge and the Southern Potteries, now here we go. Here's the nice Blue Ridge mark. All right, that's what you want to see. The hand painting, not a chip on it. 25 is retail. I think it's too high. I think they're worth 25 each. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 100. Here's 150. They're nice, but this is, you're paying top dollar for them. But I like them. And I particularly like the apple. The apple's popular. Remember with Blue Ridge that the decorative serpentine edge comes into widespread use later than they're first introduced in the 1930s. So these are the later pieces, but they're really quite nice. I would say they're probably worth 40 a piece. The 25 retail value doesn't give you a lot of room to make some money if you're a reseller, but if you're just collecting these, you got 6 right here, the same pattern, the right pattern. It's really a nice Blue Ridge pieces. I like these very much. And I like the condition of these. I have to say, all these other ones with damage here and damage there, I would leave them here. All of these that are damaged in some way, I'd leave the damaged ones here. I really would. Some people think, oh, we'll get the match, but if it's damaged, those cracks, once you add a crack like that, it's really going to be a problem. This is kind of a nice little, it's a cubby. It's kind of tight, kind of tight to look, but there's some nice stuff here. A couple of cookbooks. And they look like they've been cooked before. Oh, gosh, okay. That one's really heavy. The blue's pretty. This is from Roseville. This is Roseville. And that's a really nice blue bowl. I'd buy that for the color, period. That's it. But it's Roseville as well. Roseville, Ohio. I don't know if you can get that. That mark puts it in Roseville, which, of course, is one of the pottery centers of the United States. That's a really nice piece. The blue color is really good. I mean, just very good in terms of design, in terms of time, in terms of class. I like that a lot. I like the interior, I like the brick pattern on the exterior. What do they want for this? What the heck is the thing? Oh, they want 30. Well, you can get 80. So you can get 80 for it, so I'd get 80 for it. Definitely in design, you put this together with other blue-white pieces. Yeah, and then this is quite new, but I really think it's stunning. So that's really pretty. Look at that splatterware. I think I like splatterware because it's a New England thing, like Bennington, Vermont and stuff, sponge and splatterware. This is enamel and it's a colander. I'm sorry, I am always looking for colanders. In the kitchen, I'm constantly looking for the colander. How can I drain this out, or where can I put something as I'm preparing vegetables? When I'm preparing vegetables, I'm constantly eating vegetables. It doesn't help. But anyway, I like a colander like that. But that's probably a $25 piece. This I'm gonna put back on top of these Corelle dishes that I think a lot of people have. Wow, that's heavy. Here they are, the Corelle dishes. A lot of people have these, but they're everywhere, so I would leave those there. This is made in Portugal, trying to look like Blue Ridge. See how this is done? The handle, gravy boat, of course, not a sauce boat because it's got a handle, it's gravy. Gravy has a handle. And made in Portugal, right? Yeah. Yeah, California, Poppy Trail, based on Portuguese pieces. So this and this, same time frame, same type, right? California made in the Portuguese style, and then, you know, the Blue Ridge pieces. So Poppy Trail, pretty popular. Poppy Trail's popular from California, but what it looks like, mainly because of the handle. This is made famous by the Portuguese pottery manufacturers. That handle that looks like a branch. So it looks almost like, oh, you've got the branch of the actual fruit with you. This is nice. The blue is really nice. That's a local stoneware piece, local to Louisville. Did you hear that? I learned how to say it, Louisville. It's kind of a tongue tire. Louisville stoneware, made right in Kentucky. $14.99 is kind of high for this. I would think it's probably worth about $20, but $14.99 is a little bit high. But I do like it, and it, of course, is the rooster. And you all know, I might have told you before, roosters are symbols of female power. A lot of people have roosters in their kitchens, so that's a nice piece, and it's local to here, so I think that's fun. Well, look here, we've got a bunch of rolling pins, always good. Let's see, what's here? Oh, we have a scale. Let's throw that away, like right now. Get rid of the scale. Okay, because rolling pins mean baking. That one's nice. You know, we're looking at the 60s, 70s. Okay, based on the way that this is turned, the way the handle is turned. You want 12. 12 is not bad. This one's the 50s. That one's nice. I like that one a lot. That one's a little more. That one's 15. Look at the grain. I was telling you about the grain, the different woods. So that one's, but this one's got a lot of use. That's probably the 1930s. So this one's $13, probably worth $40. This one here is $13, probably worth $50. And you're saying, oh, I thought this one was worth more, but it's not. And this one is probably the newest, probably $25 on this one. I like the striations in this handle. I really like the handle, the way it's got that inside striations, those 4 lines there. I like that, and the cap. The wooden cap is good too. If you like the mid-century modern, how about that one? You know, maybe you have it with the chrome, the handles at the metal handles at the bottom really look mid-century modern. It looked good in a kitchen with some chrome plating. They want $22 for this one. So the metal, of course, because it's mid-century modern, because it's popular, they want more for it. Is it worth more? Yeah, it's worth like $65. I'm gonna put my glasses up, sorry. It's a little close quarters. Maybe I do need that scale. Lose a few pounds, you'd have it easier in here. If I can only pick 2, I'd probably pick, I don't know, I want to know what you would pick, but I'd probably pick this one, because I think that one's cool. This one, and I definitely pick this one. That's my favorite. It reminds me of my mom. My mom was not a big baker. She cooked. She liked to cook meals. She was about meals. Not a big baker. But the rolling pin was very important. Her rolling pin was red. Many of you probably have the old-fashioned red ones. When the rolling pin came out, you knew the holidays were coming up, because she had to bake before the holidays. Then she had to bake. So those were fun. I like those. These 2 are the best.
There's more to come at Peddler's Mall in Louisville, Kentucky.